What's up, Ever Players? The sun is finally coming out, and you know what that means. It's time to get off the couch and back on the field for the spring 2026 season.
We have a massive lineup this spring, but the clock is ticking. Registration for all spring leagues ends February 18th. Let's break down your week, starting with Monday night.
On Mondays, we're coming in hot with indoor volleyball at Tri-City, softball at TS Martin Park, turf soccer at Recreation Athletics, and pickleball at the KC Pickleball Complex.
For Tuesdays, you can catch us playing Super Rec kickball at Spires, sand volleyball at Pollywogs, more indoor volleyball at Tri-City, or bowling at Lucky Strike in Casey.
Midweek is huge. On Wednesdays, we've got kickball at Spires, hardball, softball at Pacific Park, cornhole at Jay's Corner, and soccer at B Avenue and Bray Park.
On Thursdays, we keep it rolling with kickball at Spires and sand volleyball at Pollywogs. Then we wrap up the week on Sundays with softball at TS Martin Park.
Now, if your early spring is already full, don't sweat it. Our late spring leagues are also open for registration right now.
That's right. The deadline for these is March 16th. We've got co-ed flag football at B Avenue on Wednesdays and sand volleyball at Pollywogs on Sundays.
We also have 5 special one-day events for those who want some extra play or can't commit to a full season.
Mark your calendars for these dates. February 9th, turf soccer mix and match at Recreation Athletics. February 12th, Valentine's Day kickball mix and match at Spires.
Then we have February 16th, basketball pickup at Drew's Wellness Center. February 17th, indoor volleyball mix and match at Tri-City. March 26th, legendary 11th Masters of Putt-Putt at Frankie's Fun Park.
Whether you're playing for the trophy or just for the social hour at the bar afterward, there is a spot for you at Everplay.
So head over to everplaysocial.com to get your team registered before those deadlines hit. We'll see you on the field.
I'll top of the morning to ya. I'm Liam the Leprechaun, and I've got a wee secret to share. DJZDesigns.com has just unveiled their brand new St. Patrick's Day apparel. Featuring yours truly, of course. From cheeky tees to lucky prints, these designs are brimming with charm and plenty of gold. Whether you're heading to a parade or just feeling the Irish spirit, you look grand in these threads. So what are you waiting for? Skip the rainbow and head straight to ZJZDesigns.com. You'll find the pot of gold in your cart. No magic required. ZJZDesigns.com, where style is always in season.
Welcome, everyone, to the All About Nothing podcast kind of daily show. I am Barrett Gruber, host of the All About Nothing podcast with Zach King. Find me across all social media at Barrett Gruber. With me is the host of the podcast, Black, White, and Blue in the South, Dr. Jamil Brooks, Mr. Bill Kimler. Follow him across all social media at PoliticalBillSC. If you want to participate in the show, you can chat with us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Find links at the top of our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Please follow and subscribe wherever you are hearing us. Hey, Bill, how was your weekend? Can't see Bill's expression if you're just listening, but
it was a great weekend, Barrett. I couldn't be happier to be here.
What made it such a great weekend, Bill?
This was the worst fucking Super Bowl I've ever watched.
Was it? Really?
Poor Super Bowl. Yes, it was.
I didn't think it was terrible.
It was terrible. It was among the bottom 5.
Yeah. I didn't think it was extremely entertaining. It was, the defensive Super Bowls wind up for me being, they put me to sleep. And to be honest with you, by about 8 minutes into the third quarter, I was out. I woke up at 2:00 in the morning to find that my TV was still on. And had to turn it off.
You know what you missed?
So.
Nothing.
Well, the fourth quarter looked like it was a little exciting. I'll be honest, I didn't go back and look to see what happened in the fourth quarter, except that there were a lot more points scored. But in the episode that I recorded with Zach yesterday that we released today, we did a little prediction of what we thought the score would be. And I think I said that I thought it was going to be 27-18. 29-13 is pretty close. His number was way off. I think he gave Seahawks. Now,
don't you play the game
points
in Madden to do a prediction? Isn't that your tradition?
I have before.
Yeah,
I have before.
Because I had a Facebook memory pop up today of a screenshot you gave me last year around this time when you played Eagles versus Chiefs, and in your score you had the Eagles winning 63-12, and it was such a ridiculous score. And then wouldn't you know, the next night, it was practically that score. The Eagles just completely ran ramshot over the Chiefs, and it was the best game ever.
Yeah, normally when I predict scores, it's purely based on the math and statistics, and I try to give it my best where all to come up with a score that makes sense based on how the season went. But I didn't pay any attention to the Seahawks or the Patriots, and frankly, I didn't really care who won. I pulled the Seahawks because they're a bird, and the Falcons are a bird, so I just kind of decided that was how, and it was the NFC team. So,
well,
AFC
I think
can go fuck itself.
The Seahawks deserve to be there. The Patriots look like they forgot it was the Super Bowl. It just was not entertaining effort on their part. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bothered. What is this new minimalist room you're broadcasting from?
This is actually my downstairs office. So when I have the girls during the week, then I set up downstairs with just my laptop from work and a little monitor that I work from. But I don't know. We're trying it out a little. I did a recording.
Moving? I guess I'm not getting it. Why do you have to move? You are the king of the castle, and even when they were there full time, I never saw you move. So what's the deal here?
It's nice to be close to the refrigerator, and because I can get me a Guinness or I can get me some water, and it's
okay.
I was downstairs, but this is probably a room that Zach and I'll potentially, when we record together, we'll record from this room.
All right.
Just because Zach has a difficult time going upstairs too. So he's getting up there into his 30s, and
Speaking
his
of
legs
girls,
start to give out.
The Super Bowl commercials. Did you pay any attention to them?
Yeah.
Because there was one commercial that actually had me tear up. And
really? Which one was that?
I think it was like Lay's chips, and I may have gotten the brand wrong. It was some sort of chips. And it was the elderly farmer and his daughter who was taking over the farm. And she was flashbacking to all the things he did with her when she was a girl and growing up.
Yeah.
Teaching her about potatoes. And then at the end, he hands the farm over to her and says, "You've earned it. It's yours now." And I'm just bawling. I thought that was just beautiful, but you have to be a dad of a girl to really have that hit you.
Yeah. I actually want to give everyone sort of a hint of that one, because that one was a really good one. So let me pull that up real quick, and if it works,
Are you saying my description wasn't enough to move everybody emotionally?
You know what? It was plenty. Lay's potato chips can also go fuck themselves. Not a sponsor.
They could have saved $1 billion and just had me describe what they wanted to do, and that could have been a much more economical commercial.
Yeah, I was disappointed in a lot of the commercials this year. There wasn't a whole lot entertaining about them as far as I was concerned. But I did have one that I enjoyed probably the most. And the reason I think that I enjoyed it was because I'm really a big fan of Andy Samberg. So it was enjoyable from the standpoint that Andy Samberg does so many imitations of people, but they're not ever very good. But this one was kind of close. So I want to play this.
Nobody in the meeting stood up for me, and I was like, "Okay, guys, I led this project.
I was born in this deli."
What?
I didn't say anything.
I was born in this deli. My best friend was that baloney. That is until I met you. Ham, touching ham, touching cheese, touching you. Sweet sandwich time. So good. This is how I make friends. I'll twerk you while I'm walking by. I live in the walls. Sometimes I wonder who my parents are. So good. I've never been outside. These are my only clothes. It makes your sandwich taste so good. If you marry me, the purse is broken and I can.
Anyway, I enjoyed that one. I thought that one was pretty funny.
I can't agree with you there. I thought that commercial was terrible. But you know what? That's the beauty of this. different triggers for different folks with these commercials for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like Andy Samberg. He comes on Seth Meyers' show. Seth Meyers does a thing called Corrections every Friday where for some reason he'll try and he'll call Andy Samberg on FaceTime and try him to do Nicolas Cage impressions, which his Neil Diamond to me feels like a different Nicolas Cage impression that he does. So,
it's Nicolas Cage doing Neil Diamond.
Exactly. So
I think the one that got me the most was an Uber Eats commercial that I laughed at.
Okay.
And that was the one with Bradley Cooper and Matthew McConaughey. Because you watch the NFL and Bradley Cooper has this whole NFL is all about trying to sell you food, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Matthew McConaughey, when he was looking at the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, and then pulls out a juicer and shows they're identical, I fell out of my chair laughing. I was like, bravo, that was brilliant.
That was a good one. I think one of the ones that I thought was the worst was the Goodwill Dunkin'. I know some people said it was cute. I thought it was terrible.
It was awful.
And then, so it was terrible because, for one, Jaleel White and Alfonso, the guy from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like, I get they never age, but don't show me that they don't age. Like, let me just assume they're not aging. But then you had, was it Ben Affleck was playing he was playing Will Hunting.
Yeah, the whole de-aging and the faces, and it just all, it was weird.
Yeah.
It didn't hit. I'll tell you what else didn't hit. Oh, go ahead.
Go. No, I was trying to think of another one, but if you go, then I'll probably remember it.
Mike Tyson one doing a Maha commercial. The fuck was that? You got one of the unhealthiest looking individuals out there. You can barely understand what he's talking about, and then it says, don't eat processed food. And I'm like, right, this is your spokesperson, right?
Yeah. What did he say, that he weighed 350 pounds or something like that? First of all, I don't remember that stage.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it ever happened. He's the most photographed individual out there. There was no walking around looking like Rerun, where he was just a big old blimp. Did not happen.
Yeah, I don't recall that whatsoever, and I have absolutely.
And then that commercial came right between two different chips commercials. Don't eat processed food. Next, it's Lay's. It's like, come on.
The other was it Coinbase that was one of them that I was really disappointed in, because all it was the karaoke of one of the boy bands from the 90s or whatever. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was going on until I was like,
it was funny. No, it was like the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
that popped
or
out.
an NSYNC or whatever. Yeah,
but they were, and I think it was Backstreet Boys. But they were making fun of themselves. Like, I kind of appreciated the humor of the commercial, because they were just doing goofy stuff and just really making fun of themselves. And I have no idea who the commercial was for. Like, you telling me it was Coinbase? It could have been.
That was a commercial. So we're talking about two different commercials. So the commercial that, it wasn't a band at all. It was just the words from a karaoke machine to whatever NSYNC or Backstreet Boy. I know I'm going to catch flack for this, but I don't know who sings the song that was in it. But it was as though you were at a karaoke bar and you were singing off of the word prompter. Like. And that's all it was. I don't want to sing it because they sang it better, but it was just a cheesy 1990s karaoke version of that song. And then when they got into the song, or then when they got towards the chorus or into the chorus or whatever, it popped up with whatever the commercial was for. And like I said, I think it was Coinbase, but I can't remember exactly. I should have done what you said, and that was take notes, and I didn't. I fell asleep with my pencil impaled in my arm.
I tell you what commercial I didn't need to see was the one that preceded all of the festivities that showed men's pubic hair singing on the bathroom floor.
Oh my God, right?
Did you see that commercial?
Why? Like, who thinks of that?
That inspired me to do nothing for that product. I have no desire to go through that and see my hair singing. No, thank you. Nope. not happening. I don't know whose idea it was. And then it was probably the same advertising firm who came up with the singing toilets.
Yes. Yeah, probably. Yeah, those were weird.
They were singing, take a look at me now. And
take a look at your pee.
Take a look at your pee, right? Look at you pee. And it's like, what? Make sure you're hydrated, I think was the theme of that commercial. But just make sure you look at your pee.
A liquid IV commercial or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I first of all, I don't tune into the Super Bowl commercials. I don't stick around on the couch for the Super Bowl commercials to give me health instructions. So Mike Tyson, liquid IV, you all can go shove it. I don't need it. I don't want it. That's a fact. Also, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. I think you should Ben Affleck and Matt Damon need to probably not be involved in those commercials anymore. They've never been great, but I think they've gone downhill further. It was, and then the Super Bowl was just kind of meh for me. I mean, again, I pulled for the Seahawks, but it wasn't a great, entertaining Super Bowl. It wasn't.
And can I be in the minority that says I didn't really care for the halftime show? Am I allowed to say that?
You can.
Am I allowed to have that opinion, or am I going to get killed?
I don't think you're going to get killed. I can honestly say I thought it was a beautiful performance. Like, I get that I don't speak. I understand some Spanish. I speak very little Spanish, and I understood the message from I guess the performance. But I thought it was a very well produced. The set design was fantastic. When he handed the child the Grammy, I think there were a lot of questions as to whether or not that was the 5-year-old that had been detained for almost a month. But
I think, that's the thing is, I think everybody brought their own, preconceptions into it and started mapping themselves onto what they were saying. And again, I guess that's what art is, right? Art is about interpretation. And if you leave it open for interpretation, that's considered a good thing. But to me, and I guess this is the same complaint I had last year's Super Bowl halftime show. I need to go afterwards and have it explained to me, right? Because I am a 50-something-year-old white guy. I didn't understand Kendrick's performances and all the history. I didn't know who Drake was. I didn't know there was this beef. I have no idea what was going on. So I had to have it explained to me. And then I gained a lot of appreciation for it weeks later, right? So I get it.
Yeah.
Same thing here with this Bad Bunny thing. It's like, I watched it, and if I didn't know anything about anything, what I saw was a young, attractive Puerto Rican guy mumbling his way through Spanish words. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think he can sing. That, again, based on what I saw, I would not put him up there as a crooner or a singer that I would pay money to go see. Now, you can tell me he was telling the most beautiful story in the world and that there was a theme to it and all the symbolism. Yes. Now I have to go get my Cliff Notes out and go research what I saw in a halftime show. My daughter and I, she was texting me throughout the whole thing, and she was like, that was brilliant. And oh my gosh, did you see this? And oh, that means this. And I was like, I'm glad you get it. I didn't get it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not watching the Kid Rock show either. I mean, that's bullshit. Right. And I'm not criticizing it, so saying the Bad Bunny performance wasn't good. It may have been the best show ever, but maybe I just didn't get it. And I need to now go read 100 articles to understand what I watched and didn't get.
Yeah. There were parts of it that I recognized just based on the fact that my father spent time in Puerto Rico after hurricanes, that so he understood, I understood some of it, like with the people on the power lines. Like, legitimately, there will be children that will climb the power lines because the power line infrastructure is so awful in Puerto Rico, in the rural areas, that even the children know how to go up and reattach a line to a house or something like that. Like,
look, if they did a Super Bowl halftime show that was completely Lord of the Rings themed, I'm going to get every reference. I want to be creaming my pants. I want to be like, this is the best thing ever. Meanwhile, 99% of the nation's going to be scratching their head going, what is this dumb shit? Right? Like, so I get that if you have that experience, like the telephone poles, I never even knew that. Like, that's new information to me. And I'm in the moment when I was watching it, there was a big question mark over my head. I'm like, this is what all the excitement was about?
Well, I think I also want to acknowledge that the excitement wasn't necessarily from the people that were super excited to see Bad Bunny doing it. It was the Bad Bunny pickup for the Super Bowl show. The same as Green Day at the beginning. Those were kind of NFL's way, I think, of telling Donald Trump, "Hey, fuck you." Yeah. Like NFL is the richest. I think MLB and NFL probably go back and forth, but between those two sports and potentially, FIFA Worldwide Soccer, those sports have what I think we all like to think we could eventually have one day, and that's fuck you money. Like,
and that's what they have. That's another sport I don't get is soccer. Like, how is that the most popular sport in the world? That is by far the single dullest sport that's ever existed outside of curling and golf. I mean,
to all of our European listeners, Bill is calling you all out. That's I don't disagree. I find I'm entertained by soccer sometimes, but I'm more
in my
entertained.
Old man yelling at the clouds mood tonight.
That's right. I am more entertained by like rugby when it comes to like international sports that we don't see a lot here in the States. What's that?
Women's rugby. I love watching women's rugby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. There's nothing that makes a smile appear on my face. They go at it. And it's now in my TikTok algorithm. But
lovely.
Just the ferocity and the athleticism. And, I saw this one clip where like there's like a tiny rugby player who was picked up by one arm by this other player and thrown off to the side. I was like, this is brilliant. I love it. This is the greatest.
I have enjoyed rugby on my YouTube channel. I'm subscribed to multiple European rugby teams like the Scottish U20 or U18 and several other ones. So whenever they play and those pop up, like those are the first things. And I'll sit there on a Saturday morning sometimes, nobody's up in the house or if the house is empty, and I'll sit there from like 6 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock. Just sitting there watching rugby games, and they're entertaining. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on, but the same. Here's another one, and I know
there's nothing to know about because there's no rules in rugby. That's the best part. It's like you just throw the ball in the middle of the field, and similar colored uniform teams just tackle each other nonstop.
Sure,
and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of lateral backward passes.
I think the further back you go, the bigger the goal you get. Like I think there's all these terms. There's a scrum. I think you capture the scrum.
Yeah, the scrum is when everybody's.
No, the scrum.
Yeah, the scrum is when they're all together and they throw they roll the ball underneath, and the team to come away with it's the team that gets to advance towards the end zone or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what it's called at the end. Again, everyone's offended by this conversation. But I was going to say, one of the ones working with a number of coworkers that are in India, I've become a fan of cricket. Like I still don't understand exactly what's going on, but I've
no
begun
rules
to piece
because all you do is you grab a plank off of a wooden fence nearby, you bounce balls at people, you whack them, then you hit each other with the wicket, and then you get a crickety. I mean, I've watched plenty of it myself, and when the World Series of cricket is always India versus Pakistan, you're dealing with the world's greatest sport.
It is a billion fans, I think I heard. A billion. Didn't even get all of India, just a billion, but there's a billion, kind of like the Catholics. It was an interesting weekend.
Can I pivot to a brand new topic?
Please.
I want to tell you about the podcast I recorded Saturday.
I wanted you to. You to.
So there was an anti-ICE protest. And by the way, when we say anti-ICE, we just need to be clear to the conservatives who are going to get it wrong intentionally. Do we want immigration enforcement? Yes. Do we want ICE doing what they're doing, breaking every constitutional law we have and being a law unto themselves and going without any consequences for their illegal actions? No. Do it the right way, right? That's all. It's simple as that.
Yep.
Don't murder U.S. citizens. don't deport people just because of their color and get it wrong. I mean, how many U.S. citizens have been detained for days, locked up in a black box that they can't access the outside world? Anyhow, there was an anti-ICE abuse protest in Uptown Greenwood. Had between 60, 65 people turn out. So it was a good turnout. We recorded a podcast episode live from that event. So an hour and a half. We recorded outdoors in the middle of everything. It was a big experiment and it went really well. I'm in the middle of editing it now. Had like 6 different guests pop in and a couple of them were celebrities. So got to interview a candidate for U.S. Senate, candidate for U.S. Congress, and candidate for governor, all in the same episode. Cool. They all stopped by the table to pay their respects to the #1 political podcast in South Carolina.
Hey,
that's right.
Bold claim.
We're starting to get recognized.
No, I saw the pictures, and when I came to the picture of Dr. Jermaine Johnson, I was like, dang, he showed up out there. But that's not to say he doesn't show up places. He absolutely does. I am surprised at the places that he shows up.
He did not announce it. He just came out, said he wanted to encourage the protest. He loved the fact that there was over 60 people there in Greenwood. He was really amazed because out in Columbia, you guys could snap your fingers and find 1,000 people to go march. Greenwood's a little more difficult. So heck, he says he would have been impressed if there was 5. And that was a very good point.
Yeah, the pictures showed what looked like a good time. Were there any naysayers that showed up?Ere there any trucks
I
with
saw
flags
in a gossip
and exhaust?
group. Yeah, there was a couple of guys, ran through with their muffler, thought they were a big deal, but no biggie. It was mostly positive, and you'll hear cars honking all throughout the episode. I mean, it was nonstop. Cool. But apparently there was a guy parked in the parking lot where we were set up, sitting behind us, taking pictures and then criticizing the protest in a gossip group online. Here they're at it again. And then you go to the comments and you can see basically like the Fox News spewed, why are they pro-rapist? It's like,
right. Yeah. Cause you're not pro-pedophile. So clearly you must be pro-rapist. Like there's one or the other.
But I'm excited. I think this episode will be ready for Wednesday, and the quality of it, you know me, I'm a stickler for quality, and it was noise throughout, but it really wasn't that bad. It's a very listenable episode, so I was pleased with it.
Very good. I'm just to go back to what you said about the people in the little, the Facebook forums or whatever, where they're, here they are again, like, can we set a threshold for the number of times there has to be something happen before you can go out and say, here we go again? Like, truly, like 10 times. How many ICE protests have there potentially been in Greenwood? 2, 3?
No, this will be like the 6th one.
Okay. We haven't reached 10 yet. That's what I'm saying.
It's not just ICE. I mean, it's in the same corner, same group.
Yeah.
But it's either no kings or we have had enough or it's Medicare or, whatever the issue is. Are you doing those thumbs that I'm seeing up on the screen? Is that you doing it?
Yeah, probably. It's an Apple thing. If I can give you a heart and see it, does it pop up with the heart? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before we get out of here, because I know it's a Monday and usually
I got
Mondays
like a whole bunch of list of more observations. Boy,
Do you?
Got it all right here, man. I got another half hour in us.
Look at you.
For example, coolest commercial, the new Steven Spielberg film. Are you excited to see Disclosure Day?
Which let me pull it up.
They premiered a new Steven Spielberg film coming out later this year called Disclosure Day, and it looks to be a creepy alien sci-fi, realistic, like a Close Encounters but darker.
I did see that.
It's got crop circles in it. It's got all sorts of weirdness, and if it's Spielberg, it's going to be quality. So when I saw that commercial for that movie, I was psyched.
Can I share it? It real quick? Because I did see that, and I do want to share it because I think that this one looked really cool.
We're interrupting our coverage. There has been a threat to publicly release government material long shrouded in secrecy. Are they people?
Do you think there could be others?
People have a right to know the truth.
What are you going to do?
Full disclosure to the whole world, all at once.
If you do this, there's no undoing it. There will be no other day like tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta say, Steven Spielberg knows how to do movies. Like, that's a fact. That is a fact. And what was the last Alien movie he did? Because I know he was part of Independence. Like, he was a producer on Independence Day.
Yeah, but that wasn't him. That was the Devlin.
Yeah, but he was an executive producer. You know,
you know what? Honestly,
that one looks good.
I cannot think of a single Alien film other than E.T. And I know they had War of the Worlds.
Right?
He did War of the
Cruise.
Worlds. Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was exceptional.
Phenomenal.
I thought War of the Worlds was phenomenal.
Very rewatchable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I
think this is going to be a good year for movies.
I do too.
I'm looking at the lineup, ending with Avengers Doomsday. Oh.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great year. Great year.
Yeah. I agree. Wow. Okay. Great year in movies. We're still on the, I think as far as politics goes, we're still on this roller coaster riding up for the first hill. So,
when we get out of the gate with Melania, it's off to a tough start. So you can only go up from here.
Which, by the way, I think I saw on Yahoo News, Melania had the worst second week of any documentary movie. So it had the best opening weekend of a documentary non-musical movie in the last 10 years. And then the second weekend had the worst second weekend of any non-musical documentary.
Look how narrow of a category you had to make it. Right. Yeah, a non-musical documentary that starts with the letter M, on a blue moon.
Yeah. A lot of stretching.
It can only go up. We're in a dark moment right now, but I see the light, and the light looks great. It's going to be a wonderful year of movies.
The only thing I'm disappointed in is the fact that when Melania debuts on Amazon Prime, that in order to really give Donald Trump's shaft enough attention, that Bezos is going to have to come out and say, like, it was the greatest opening. They'll skew the numbers or whatever they have.
Whenever they make a huge blockbuster film, and then there's always some other indie company that makes a mockbuster version of that same film. Like, and they slightly change the name, and they make the color or the cover look similar. They try to fool people into watching it, thinking you're watching Avatar, but it's like Aviator, or something, some offshoot. You know what I'm talking about? They do it all the time, whatever the latest movie is. And I would wonder,
the Revengers,
the Revengers, the plumbers. Would they do a mockumentary or a mock documentary, a mockumentary of Melania? Like, I think it's just
if there isn't one already. If it's not already in production, I'm disappointed.
Like that would have a 10 times bigger opening night than Melania did. If you had a Naked Gun version of that, or a Scary Movie,
please.
Think like Scary Movie or any of those other kind of goofball mockumentaries.
If Scary Movie 6 doesn't have something in it partaking Melania, I'm going to be thoroughly disappointed, because that's an opportunity for at least 6 minutes of content.
I mean, the closest we got was the last South Park season. I mean, I think that really, Melania was the woman in the hat sitting in the corner of the room. It would just disappear. I thought that was brilliant.
That was fantastic.
Maybe they have a movie in them. I want to see Trey Parker and Matt Stone come out with a mockumentary of Melania. Melanoma. That would be good. They could call it Melanoma. The documentary.
Give it because Melania is an odd name. I mean, it's not an odd name, but it's obviously Melanie, but without the Mel whatever.
And I would want Julianne Moore to star.
Okay.
She could pull it. I saw her in this movie called Game Change, and she played Sarah Palin.
That was a good one.
You would have thought that was Sarah Palin in the movie. I mean, there was perfect. I think she could play Melania perfectly in this mockumentary called Melanoma. Melanomia. That's what you would call it. Melanomia. I've got that here. I did the hard work. I've got the name of the movie. The script practically writes itself.
It's subtitled Abducted from Slovenia. Melanoma. Maybe. Melanomia. Yeah, I could see it. All right. Well, on that bombshell, we'll wrap it up. Sorry, Bill, we didn't get to the rest of your list. Oh, I'm just entertaining myself. Just going to wrap it up. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. I can't see you on the monitor because you're over here, so I have to look over here in order to see you. Big thanks for everybody watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget you can follow Bill at Political Bill SC. You can follow me at Barrett Gruber. Thanks for liking and hitting that bell. And if you can, give us a 5-star review, a like, and comment. Leave a comment. Until next time, you all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself. The preceding podcast is solely owned by the host or hosts and is distributed by Big Media, LLC. Copyright 2026.